The biggest problem with platforms like Teachable, Udemy, TalentLMS, Kajabi or Skillshare is the cost. Publishing your courses with TalentLMS or Kajabi could cost you hundreds of dollars per month in fees. That's thousands of dollars per year you'll never get back. Even free plans from Teachable and Udemy have limited features and will take a large percentage of your revenue just for using their website. Udemy will take up to 63% of your earnings. Now, what if I told you that you could reduce your monthly spend by around 87% while retaining all the features of the high-end subscriptions, and it will only take you 1 hour to set up? Okay, so here's the service we'll be using. It's called WPX. I'll have it linked in the video description so you can follow along. Now, the crucial thing here is this. It's $20 per month. That's right. A 12-month plan with WPX costs less than many one-month subscriptions of other course platforms. And I've built numerous websites using WPX in the past, so when they reached out to sponsor a video, I already had the perfect idea ready to go. So today I'll show you how to use WPX to easily create a fully customizable course site that looks just like this. It's better and much cheaper than the other platforms, so stick with me because you won't want to miss a thing. For this project, we are going to use WPX.net. And as you can see here, they've been voted the fastest WordPress hosting back in 2022. And in the meantime, they've earned a lot of awards as well. As you can see, best hosting support, top tier WordPress hosting, best SEO hosting, and also 2,779 positive 5-star reviews on Trustpilot as well. So this is a very good company to work with for sure. So let's discover their plans now. Now, as you can see, they have 3 different plans. You have business, professional, and elite. So what's the difference? Well, mainly is the amount of websites that you can host on those different plans. This one is up to 5 websites, up to 15 websites, and up to 35 websites. And obviously, they will adjust the resources accordingly. So here you get 15 gig of storage and 200 gig of bandwidth. With this one, 30 gig of storage, 400 gig of bandwidth, and this one, 60 gig of storage. And obviously, since you have up to 35 websites, unlimited bandwidth as well. So now the folks at WPX have provided us with a coupon code that you can use, okay? So you can test it out for a full month at a reduced price of 60%. So this will work only with the monthly plan. So as you can see, you have monthly and yearly. So this is going to be basically $24.99 per month, and you get the first month at 60% discount by using this coupon here. So again, I'll leave that in the description below, okay? So feel free to select any of those plans here. All you have to do is click buy now. So right here, if you already have a domain name registered, just type it here and then click continue. If you don't have a domain name yet, click this one here. I am launching a new website. And right here, as you can see, I have all these different domain name extensions. So .com, .biz, .net, .org, .info. So .com obviously is the most popular one. And right here, you type the domain name that you want to register. So for instance, design with Mr. Web, and we want a .com. So let's click search and let's see if this is available. And there you go. As you can see, this one is available for just $13.99. So now we click continue. Now we need to select our nearest data center. So we're based in Ireland ourselves. So we're going to select UK, London, Europe. And then from here, we're going to add our promo code first. So click add promo code, and the code is Mr. Web 60. Okay, and then apply. So instead of $38.98, as you can see, it's $23.99. So we save $14.99 just with this, you know. So now let's fill out all our contact details here. So basically something like this. Scroll down the page after this and select your payment method. So you have online transfer by PayPal or bank card. So either way is fine. So I'm just going to select bank card for now, okay, and then proceed to checkout. So then you have to agree with the GDPR rules and compliance, accept. And then simply enter your payment details and go through the checkout process. And there you go, guys, all done already. So welcome to the fastest WordPress hosting. So that's us done for now, okay? So this is our hosting taken care of. Now let's install WordPress, which is our next step. So for this, we go to our dashboard. So right here on top, we have our WordPress hosting, and underneath our domain name we just registered. So the two are linked together automatically for us. There's nothing else to do. We are ready to go immediately. So now we can install WordPress. So we can either click on the link here or manage service. And right here by the side, as you can see, see we have the service details. So this is a quick overview of our server. And right here, we're going to click on Manage Website. So that's all we have to do to install WordPress. It's going to be super easy for us to do so. And from this screen, now we click on Manage WP. And here we have two different options. So install WordPress on website or install WordPress in subdirectory. So a subfolder basically. In our case, it's going to be on website. So let's click on this. And now we need to enter a few bits of information, So by default, it will provide you with a database name and also an admin username. So you can change this as well, Maybe you want to make it more complicated and harder to guess. So perhaps WPX and maybe, let's say 897IU. Okay, you can add as many characters as you want. Make sure that your email address is correct, and then you need to type in a password. So I'm just going to use Google Chrome here to suggest a password for us, and then install WordPress. And then you will see a pop-up window like this with a reminder of what our user admin name is and also our password. Now copy and paste this somewhere and save it somewhere safe, okay? And then you can close this. And as you can see, it will install the SSL certificate automatically. So you have a green padlock here. So that means the SSL is active already. Nothing else to do with it. And now we can create maybe one email address for our domain name as well, which we are going to use on our website. So email boxes right here. And then now click add an email box. So let's create, for instance, info at. So it could be info at, sales at, accounts at, your name at, whatever email box you want, email address you want to create. So here you're going to put your real name. So I'm just going to put Mr. Web. Scroll down the page and you can set the limit as well, maybe 500 megabyte or 1 gigabyte if you wanted to, and then scroll down the page and then set a password here, okay? And then that's basically it. You can even send the settings to yourself if you wanted to maybe to your Gmail account as a reminder, and then click submit. There you go. As you can see, we get a confirmation here that our email box info@designwithmrweb.com was created. And that's basically it. We all set already. So we have the hosting taken care of, our domain name registered, and our email address set up. Now we go back to Manage Websites, and then we're going to click on our domain name. It will open up in a new tab. So there you go. This is what our website looks like at the moment. So very basic, obviously, but don't worry. We're going to make it look absolutely fantastic. So now we need to access our WordPress dashboard. So for this, at the end of your domain here, type a trailing slash or / and then WP-admin and then hit enter. And then right here, type in your credentials, those we saved earlier on, and then click login. And welcome to our WordPress dashboard. So let's have a quick look at our website in the front end. So if you hover on top of your domain name visit site, right click and then open in a new tab. And this is basically what it looks like at the moment. So as you can see, very basic, nothing outstanding at all. But don't worry, we are going to install a fantastic theme that looks absolutely beautiful, very, very professional indeed. So we go to our dashboard here. We go to plugins first. As you can see, I have those few plugins here. So what we're going to do is delete those two first ones here. Okay, Askimat and Hello Dolly. Absolutely don't need that. So delete, apply. Click OK, confirm. And we're going to keep this one here. It's a caching plugin, but while we work on the website, we are going to deactivate it. Okay, so disable. And there you go. So now we're going to add our own plugin. So add new. And in the search box here, look for MasterStudy all in one word. Okay, and it's the very first one here by StyleMix Themes. Okay, so install and then activate. And now all we have to do is to follow all these steps here. And basically this is a wizard that will help us customize and create our course platform. So in our case, we're going to select individual. It's not a marketplace we're going to build today. It's just for ourselves. So we click on this. So click continue. And now we're going to generate all the pages. So we need the user account, public account, wishlist, and checkout. So we're going to create this. And as you can see, this is created for us automatically. Now, do you want to enable guest checkout? Yes or no? This is really up to you. Basically, if you enable the guest checkout, they won't need to register, basically, okay? I would advise to keep it on so you have all the details. You can always contact them or maybe use that for marketing purposes. Next, same principle here, we can create our courses page. So let's do that together. There you go. And after this is basically all the different options based on the layout. What do you want your website to look like? Okay, so do you want to use grid view or list view? This is again a matter of preferences. I would leave it by default. How many pages do you want to display and how many courses in total per row? So again, this is just a matter of preferences. Okay, so do you want to enable courses filter? As you can see, you can filter by categories, level, prices, and so on. So you might want to enable that as well, so I can show you all the different features. Okay, so next, so here you have the option to redirect directly to the checkout. So if someone adds a course to the checkout, it will go straight to that page. This is really up to you. Normally you only purchase one course at a time, so this is an option you might want to consider. And then do you want to add all these different features: description, curriculum, FAQ, announcement, and reviews? Again, this is just a matter of preferences and depending on your needs and requirements. So I would tick them all for now. So let's click next. So here, in relation to the curriculum, lesson style, how do you want to display them? Default or classic? And again, here, one page or paginations. So pagination, you have different pages. Here is just one page that you scroll up and down, basically. Okay, so again, this is just a matter of preferences. We're just going to leave it by default for now. Okay, so click next. And right here in the profile, we're going to disable the instructor registration because this is not a marketplace. It's just you uploading your own courses, obviously, So finish setup. And as you can see, we can import demo courses. I would highly recommend you do so because it's going to give you a good idea of what can be done, basically. Okay, so let's click on this, import demo courses. And then you'll be redirected back to this page here, the LMS settings page, and you click on this button here, Start Import. And there you go. As you can see, this is completed. The progress bar will keep moving like this. You have this animation. Don't worry, when you see this one ticked, that means this is done already, okay? And now what you need to do is to scroll back to the top of the page. And as you can see, we have this message here. It says, thank you for installing the MasterStudy LMS plugin. What to do next? Well, try the MasterStudy starter theme. So this is basically the theme that works perfectly with this plugin, okay? So what we're going to do now, we're going to click install now. So let's click on this. So this is installed. And now we have to go through the setup wizard, as you can see, okay? So let's click start. And as you can see, we are required to install a few different plugins here, Elementor and Elementor header and footer builder. So let's install that. So this is step 1 completed. Now we're going to import the demo content, the widget, the theme settings, and LMS options. So let's import all of this. There you go, 100%. It's very fast, isn't it? And now we're going to install the child theme. So a child theme basically is linked to the main theme, but it will not be affected by future updates. So if you make changes, it will remain the same. Okay, so let's click install. That's it, done already. And now we're going to go back to our WordPress dashboard. So don't click on any of those two buttons here. Click on this one here, return to the dashboard. There you go. So now we're back to the WordPress dashboard. We can dismiss this message here. That's it. And now if we go back to the front end and refresh, there you go, guys. Look at this, how professional this looks already. So we have our hero section here, a few courses, a short about us section, call to action button. Look at this. This is absolutely amazing and very, very professional looking, as you can see, Now we can configure this and make it our own, okay? So let's go back to the WordPress dashboard for this. Okay, so first, let's familiarize ourselves with the LMS system here. So as you can see, if you hover on top, you have settings, courses, lessons, quizzes, and so on and so on. Okay, so if I click on this now, okay, we'll have all our settings because this is the first tab. And basically after that, you have courses. So the courses are made out of lessons. You also have quizzes, questions, and reviews. So this is basically how the courses are broken down, those 5 different sections here. All your orders will appear here, and then we can create different courses categories as well. So this is normally the logical way of creating things. You would start with your categories, and then you can create your courses and add the different lessons, quizzes, questions, and reviews to it, okay? So let's start together. So first, we're going to go to the courses category here. So as part of the demo content, we have those different categories here. As you can see, you have Apache, C++, communication, electronic, jazz. So it could be anything you want, basically. Whatever you are teaching, you can create different categories and even subcategories if you wanted to. So I'm just going to add one here called web design, for instance, okay? You can add an image as well if you wanted to, And all you have to do is add new course category. There you go. So if you go back on top, as you can see now, there is our new category, web design. And you will create as many as you have, okay? And then after this, we go to courses, okay? And let's create our own course this time, okay? So let's say we're gonna create a course called How to Create a Website with WordPress, okay? So let's create that together. So let's click Add New. Very good. So the first step is to add our title. So like we said, How to Create a Website with WordPress. And then we're going to add a little bit of content here. So this is our description. So when your visitors land on your course, they know exactly what the course is all about. So it's a quick summary of the content of your course, obviously, you know. So by the side here, we have the category. So we said this would be part of the web design section. And we can also add a featured image. So let's click on this and let's select an image. So perhaps this one here, okay? So set featured image, there you go. As you can see, best WordPress courses for beginners. So this is basically our image. And right here by the side in the middle, we have the course curriculum. And this is where we're going to build our course. We're going to create different sections and that add the different lessons to it. So as we said, we have courses, lessons, and then we can add quizzes and questions afterwards as well, okay? So let's get started with this. So let's create our first section here. So let's say this one is called hosting and domain name registration. And then we can create our first lesson. So first is going to be setting up our hosting and then click on the enter sign here. So this is lesson number 1, and lesson number 2, let's say registering a domain name, which would be our first 2 steps. So these are our 2 different lessons. Now, if you hover on top of either of them, you can edit the lesson itself, okay? So setting up our hosting, let's edit this one. And right here, we're going to put the content of our lesson. So let's say this one is just text, okay? It's just the steps, basically. So if you go on wpx.com, basically all the different steps, how to register your hosting. As you can see, we have 3 different plans here, business, professional, and elite. And then all the steps here, 8 of them all together, how to set up your hosting with wpx.net. So then what type of lesson is it? Is it text? If it's just text, basically all you have to do is insert some content here. Perhaps you want it to be a video. So in which case, you can select the type of video. If it's HTML MP4, you will have to upload the video on your own server and you will display using a video player. Or you can use YouTube, Vimeo, or even an external link. So let's use YouTube, for instance. I'm going to use one of our videos here. So let's paste this one here. And how long is the lesson? Well, let's say maybe 30 minutes, this one, okay? And then scroll down the page, and here you're going to put a very short description. So this is basically like a teaser, okay? So maybe something like this, okay? And then you can add lesson material. So perhaps you want to add maybe a PDF file, maybe attach some images, or maybe a Word document, something like this. This is where you can do so. Basically, all you have to do is click on this, upload the file, and that's basically it, okay? So I'm just going to delete for now. We're just going to leave it as is. And then if you go back on top, you can then set a featured image. So let's upload a new file, select file. So I found one here, fastest hosting, okay? And then set featured image. And then after this, don't forget to click update. And that's basically it. We're done with lesson number 1, okay? So we can close this now, go back to our course, and we do the same with registering a domain name. So we click on edit. And then we can fill this out as well. So let's add a bit of content here. So perhaps something like this, you know, a few different steps. So how to register domain name using wpx.net. And this time, this lesson will just be text on its own. It's just a few steps, okay? So lesson duration, let's say 3 to 4 minutes perhaps, okay? And you can do the same here. So how to register your domain name on wpx.net. And that's it. So now we go back to the top. As always, click update. And we're not going to add any images for this. It's pretty self-explanatory, okay? And then if we close this, now we go back to our course. And that's basically us done for section 1. Again, here, don't forget to click publish as well for your main course itself, the same way we do with the lessons, okay? And now we can create section number 2. So let's add a new section. And let's call this one installing WordPress plus config, okay? And then we can add our lessons. And the same principle applies here, so I'm just going to do that very quickly. So there you go, perhaps something like this. So now we have two different sections, section 1, section 2, and each section have a certain amount of lessons. So this one 2 lessons, and now we have 4 different lessons for this one. So once you're done, don't forget to click update the same way we've done with the lessons. And now we can have a quick preview and see what it looks like in the front end. So let's click preview changes. And there you go, this is our lesson. So we have the title here on top, how to create a website in WordPress. The teacher is Mr. Web, category web design, and this is the overview, quick overview. So description, so we have the image here, best WordPress courses for beginners, and then a quick description here of what to expect if you were to take this course, obviously, you know. And then we have the curriculum here. So as you can see here, we have 2 different sections, hosting and domain name registration, and then installing WordPress plus config, and you have all the different lessons. Next to it, you have the time here, how long it is going to last, the length, basically, you know. So 30 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes, 8 minutes, and so on and so on. And right here next to it, you have a small icon. As you can see, this one is a play button, meaning that this lesson is a video. This one is text, 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 and this one is a slide. So that's basically it. Very easy to understand. Now, if you want to start studying this course, all you have to do is start with lesson 1. Let's click on it. And right here we have the title, so setting up our hosting, and this is a video. So once you've watched the video, you have a bit of description here. You can mark it as complete and go to the next lesson, okay? So let's mark this as complete. As you can see, it's gone green. And then we can click this next button here. And next lesson is registering a domain name. So this lesson was only text, as you can see. We just follow the steps, and then we can mark it as complete. And then we can go from one to the other in a very easy way, like you can see. So you can go back to your lesson here, and you can also jump from one to the other if you wanted to, you know, whichever way you want. You can set this up the way you want. You might have to go through the steps sequentially. So lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, 4, 5, 6, or maybe you can give them the freedom to go from one to the other. Perhaps I know how to set up my hosting already. I want to go straight into installing WordPress, in which case I might want to start from here and then maybe learn how to install plugins. Either way is fine, you know. So let's go back to our WordPress dashboard now, okay? So let's add quizzes to our lessons now. So basically, if someone has gone through the 4 different lessons here, you might want to add a quiz before they can proceed to the next section, for instance. Or maybe in between them, maybe just install WordPress, install a theme, a plugin, and then before you go to that one, you can insert a quiz in between them. Either way is fine, you know, depending on your requirements and your needs and how you break this down, obviously. So let's create a quiz here, okay? So let's say section 2 quiz. Let's keep it simple, okay? And then enter. And now if you hover on top, you can click edit, and it's going to open up in a new section. So you can have a quick description here. Let's see how well you know WordPress, let's say, okay? And then right here, you can select the type of question you want to ask of single choice, multi-choice, true or false, item match, image match, keyword, and fill the gap. So this is pretty self-explanatory, you know. So let's go ahead maybe with true or false, okay? And right here, let's say the question would be, can WordPress plugins be easily installed and activated on the WordPress website? So that's a simple yes or no question. So add the question. And is it true or is it false? The right answer here is true, okay? But if it was false, you would select false, because this is the answer this should give, okay, in order to proceed. So basically this one is true, okay? And then you can add as many questions as you want, obviously, you know? So let's add the second one here, for instance, a multiple choice, okay? And we're going to ask which of the following best describes WordPress plugins, and then we're going to give 4 different options, okay? So we're going to add the first one here. So let me copy and paste this quickly here. So there's the first one, second, third, and the fourth one. And the correct answer is C. So you have to tick this one, okay? So this is the right answer. So basically, as you can see, those are 3 false answers, and this is the right one. And that's basically it, you know. So this is how you can add as many questions as you want. So let's see that in action in the front end, okay? So let's click update. And now let's go back to our course and refresh. And let's go to our curriculum. And as you can see, now we have section 2 quiz with 2 questions. So let's click on this. And let's start our quiz. Look how beautiful this looks. It's very, very professional looking, doesn't it? So let's start the quiz. Very interactive as well. I love this solution, to be honest, you know. So can WordPress plugin be easily installed and activated on a WordPress website? It is true, by the way, yeah? Okay, let's click on this. And which of the following best describes WordPress plugin? So we know it's C, okay? So let's click on this and then submit quiz. Are you sure? Yes. And there you go, 100% success. Aren't we good? Okay, now we can close this. And there we go, as you can see, we have passed. So that's basically it for the courses mainly, you know. So now let's go back to our WordPress dashboard and let me show you a few additional features. So if we scroll down the page now, you will find all these different settings. So each course have its own settings basically, okay? So here you can see the first step is the settings again. So you have the course view. So you can say, for instance, that 727 students have taken the course already. You can set the level as well. Is it beginner, intermediate, or advanced? So in our case, it's most likely advanced. And how many students are currently taking the course, you know? So it could be maybe 121, let's say. And then you have your duration info and the video duration. So let's say maybe an hour and 45 minutes in total, okay, for the course. That's basically it. And then you can change the status as well, like hot, new, or special. So let's put this one as new, and you can set the date as well. So new from today up until maybe end of the month. And then after this, we can set the price. So as you can see, course price, and this is where you're going to monetize your item. So let's set a price here. So maybe 99, and you can have a special price as well, sales price. So maybe let's say 74.99. And with the pro version, you can also select a date range. So maybe for 2 weeks only or something like this. But again, we are only going to cover 3 features in this tutorial, okay? And then you have the expiration. So here you can set a time limit. So maybe once they start taking the course, it will run out after 30 days or maybe 20 days or 15 days or maybe whatever you want, okay? Now, unfortunately, all the other options here, including content drip, prerequisite, and certificates, these are all part of the pro version. So if you wanted to enjoy those features, you'll have to actually purchase the full version for this. But again, we're only going to cover the free version for the time being, okay? So let's click update. And now that we've set up our pricing for the courses, we have to go to our LMS settings as well. And now we have to configure our payment methods, okay? Because you want to get paid, obviously, you know? So you can select, for instance, offline payment, wire transfer, but I don't think this is suitable for this type of business. I would think you should normally have to select PayPal or perhaps Stripe, which are the most common ones, okay? So I'm just going to add a PayPal email address here. So there you go, and then you can select your currency. So it could be euros, pesos, I don't know, whatever it is, you know, your US dollars. And then you can select Sandbox or Live. So at the start, I would select Sandbox while you're building the website so you can test orders and see if they're coming through and if you can process them and all that. And just before you go live, don't forget to come back here and set it to live and save your settings, obviously, you know. And here, payment method description, well, we're just going to put PayPal, you know. It's very simple to understand. Save settings, and that's it. Our PayPal settings are now in place. And now let's run a test, okay? So let's go back to our course and let's refresh our page. And there you go, as you can see, now we have the course price here at $74.99, normal price $99, and the course is only available for 30 days, so you have to hurry and take advantage of that special offer. Again, we can go and check the curriculum, and if we want to get the course, all we have to do is click on it, and we can then create a username, go through the checkout process, and it will basically become an order. So let's go ahead with this, okay? Let's register. So there you go, Mr. Web and hello@mrweb.tv, then add your password, and then click register. There you go. So we're now registered. So I'm going to save this. Okay. And now that we are registered, we can actually get the course. Okay. So now we're going to be redirected to the checkout. Payment method is PayPal. So let's purchase this. And then from here, simply log into your PayPal account and then go through the checkout process. That's basically it. And the order will be received automatically in the backend. So let's check this out now. So right here under the MasterStudy LMS tab, we have orders. If you click on this, There you go, as you can see, we received an order from Mr. Webb and the payment was completed. So again, this is a test platform. Don't forget to put it back to live once you're ready to go. So if you click on this, basically this is the quick overview of our order here. So how to create a website with WordPress, $74.99, and this is completed. As you can see, this has been paid. So from here, if we go back to our courses, as you can see, we have the course itself and we have manage students. If you click on this, Mr. Webb will be there now and myself as well, you know. So basically these are the two people that actually are taking this course and going through the different lessons. So this is how you can see also the progress obviously that they're making. As you can see, myself here I'm at 42%, then Mr. Webb hasn't started yet. So this is absolutely great for you to have a quick overview of what's happening on your platform as well. Very good. So now there's only one thing left, is to take care of our front end. So as you can see, we have to change the logo here, change the content here of our hero section, and also possibly change the background image, and then change the content here of the about us section and all this call to action, and add a picture of yourself, obviously, you know. So let's take care of this now. So for this, we go back to our WordPress dashboard, and this time we're going to go to pages. So as you can see here, with all our different pages, you can easily edit them from here, you know, and the one we're interested in at the moment is the front page. As you can see, this was built using Elementor. So Elementor is a drag and drop page builder, very easy to use, super user friendly. So to open this, basically hover on top and click on edit with Elementor, or you can right click on it and open in a new tab altogether. And this way you still have access to the backend, the front end, and your Elementor page. Okay, so this is basically it. So this is Elementor. So by the side we have all the different elements which are called widget basically. Okay, and then you can drag and drop them on your page. So if you scroll down here, you can see we have a heading. So if I wanted to insert a heading here in between, just drag and drop it, there it is. And then you can change the content and you can change the style, and you also have all the advanced feature for each widget that you're going to add on your page. So now if you want to delete this, basically right click on it and select delete. So delete that now, and that's basically it. Okay, so this is how you can change things around. So now we have our main hero section, which is the most important section of our website. This is the first thing that your visitors will see. So you want to convey a simple message that will let your visitors know exactly what to expect on your website. So as you can see, we have our main heading, subheading, and then a call to action button. Okay, so let's click on this one here, and now we can change the content. As you can see, start investing in your future today. So we can change this to something else. So let's say maybe you specialize in web design courses. Okay, so we could change this to something else. So maybe here, learn how to, and then here we're going to put design websites. That's it, you know, and this way your visitors will have no doubts whatsoever what your website is all about. They know immediately it's about learning how to design websites. So keep it as simple as possible. Imagine you're talking to a 5-year-old kid and telling them exactly what is your website about. It's about learning how to design website. Everyone would understand that. Okay, and underneath you can emphasize this with an additional sentence here. So maybe perhaps empower your website design skills with comprehensive online courses, da-da-dee, da-da-dee, da-da-da. You can have it as long as you want. That doesn't really matter. This is just to emphasize and add more content and more oomph to basically your heading here. So once they read the heading, they might have more questions on their mind. The subheading is basically to answer those main points and those main questions they might be asking themselves. Okay, so now we have our background image here. So this is absolutely fine. I see nothing wrong with that, but you might want to add something a bit more personal. So let's add another picture ourselves. So for this, we're going to click on those 6 dots here. So basically this is our main section. Okay, and then we go to style, and this is where you'll find the image. Okay, so we can delete that and add a new one. So we're going to upload a new file, select file, and I found an image here online, perhaps this one here, you know, someone learning in front of a laptop. And then we're going to insert that one. Okay, so select. There you go. So you want to find an image that has enough contrast basically between the text here and the background, you know. So this is absolutely fine. Now if your image doesn't provide enough contrast, you can always add a background overlay as well. So first, let's see if the image is centered properly. As you can see here, the size is full and by default it will be top center, okay? But you can try this differently, maybe center. As you can see, this might be more suitable, I think, you know, maybe bottom left. You see, you can change the position, or you can select custom, in which case you can select the X and Y axis, you know. So you can move this maybe a bit like this, select the right position, you know, just whatever you think is right for your website. So this one, we'll leave it at 0 for now, okay? And I think this is just about perfect. Now, like we said, if we don't have enough contrast between the text and the background image, you can add a background overlay. So how does this work? Well, very simply, you add a color. So let's select, for instance, black, okay? Or maybe blue or red, which color you prefer, you know, following your branding colors maybe. Let's go with blue, perhaps like this. And then you can set the opacity. So you can go from fully clear to fully opaque, as you can see, okay? And now you have to select a happy medium. You want still to be able to see what's happening in the background while still providing contrast between the two. And that's basically it. Maybe 0.63 would be just about perfect. Now, this is really up to you if you want to add this feature or not. Again, you can remove it very easily like this and keep the original picture. Again, this is really up to you, okay? Now, click update here to save your changes, and then we can move to the next section. So now that we've saved this, let's go back to the front end and let's have a quick look, okay? So let's refresh very quickly. And there you go. As you can see, this gives us a totally different feel, which is more personalized. And basically here you could have maybe your premises, or if you have a college or something like this, you know, provided courses online, or maybe just people all together, maybe yourself as well, you know, whichever picture you prefer. So this is absolutely fine. So like we said, the next section is the popular courses and the about us section. So let's take care of this now. So in our popular courses, this is a ready-made widget. As you can see, courses carousel. This is a proprietary solution from LMS themselves, you know, which will allow you to display as many courses as you want. So at the moment, we have 4 courses per row, as you can see, and 12 in total. So if you were to click on those arrows in the front end, let me go back here. As you can see, you can go from one to the other. You will display this basically 3 times 4 courses, so 12 in total. And you can set this up here all together. Now, maybe you want to display only 3 per row. As you can see here, only 3, you see, or maybe 4 or perhaps 5, whichever amount you prefer again. Okay, this is just a matter of preferences. And then you define how many you want to display in total. So perhaps 12 should be a multiple normally. If you add 5, maybe 10 or 15. If it's 4, maybe 4, 8, 12, 16, and so on. Okay, so here you can display the previous and next button like we had, you know. So I think this is a handy feature for your visitors. I would leave it. And also you have your button style. We can remove the borders altogether. You can show categories. You can enable that, disable that. Again, play around with this, and then you can show a specific category itself. So if you only wanted to show, for instance, web design, and maybe as well everything that's related to coding, or maybe programming, maybe software training, maybe Apache as well. And this is basically all related to the same subject. This is how you can do so. Just add them here all together. And if there's nothing, it will basically display everything from the whole range. So that's basically it for this section now. So this section here can serve multiple purposes, but usually it's like a short about us section and give your visitors enough reason to trust you, basically, you know. So this would be your main feature, your main benefit, whatever you have in that's not in common with others, but something that makes you stand out, basically. And here maybe a few pointers as to why they should trust you. Maybe you've been 12 years in business or something like that, okay? So right here, as you can see, you have a button. If you click on this, this is to view all the courses. And as you can see, this will redirect your visitors straight to the courses page. So if you go back to our homepage and I click on this, as you can see, they will see all the courses and all the breakdown here with all the filters. So this is a very, very handy feature indeed. So you want to keep that on your website, obviously, you know, and ideally you want to connect and link the content here to the button here. So you want them to click on that, obviously, you know. As I said, this section is mainly made for you to convey trust and reliability, okay? And then we have this section here, which is more like an about us section, most likely with a picture of yourself, you know, which is a nice touch, so people know who they're dealing with and who to expect as well, who's going to give them those lessons and teach them how to do things, you know. So basically here, first, we're going to change the background image. So make sure that you hover on top of the section, click on those 6 dots, go to style, So this is our image, so we can delete this one and add a new one altogether, okay? So upload file, select file. So I created one online here that looks very similar. So ideally make sure it's 1920 by 775 and try to put your image here by the side, you know, just like this. And it will look absolutely fine. As you can see, there it is. Now we might have to reposition this and maybe resize it as well. So let's go to the position here, custom, and we're going to try with the X axis first. So maybe right here. And then I think this is fine. You can keep it like that, okay? So this is okay. And again, if you wanted to, you can add a background overlay as well, like we did before, you know. You can add a color if you wanted to, you know, maybe blue, and then you can change the opacity. But I don't think there's any need for this section. I personally would leave it without. It's absolutely fine. Now, if we click on the section itself here, click on this, featured teacher. As you can see, you have the name here, and show how many courses you want to display, and the description and the title and name. So all of these you have to customize based on your own set of circumstances. So maybe you're a professor, maybe you've been in business for so many years. So just type it here with a bit of description, and that's basically it, okay? Now, as you can see here, my name is WPX_Mr_Web. So that doesn't look really good, does it? So now you can change this very easily if you wanted to, you know. So if you go back to the WordPress dashboard, you go to users, all users, and then edit the actual user. So this is the one here, okay? So click on this. Now you cannot change the username. So this is basically recorded like this in the database. You cannot change this, but you can change the nickname here. So let's change this, okay? I'm going to put Mr. Web, okay? And right here, display name publicly as, and you have to select this one, Mr. Web, okay? Scroll down the page, update profile. That's it. Now click update here just to make sure. And now we can refresh our page. So let's scroll down the page. And there you go. As you can see, now we have Mr. Web. Okay, so this is just how you can make it look better, obviously, and more presentable, obviously. So before moving to the next section, always go to the home page and refresh your page and make sure everything is displaying properly. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, as you can see here, now I'm overlapping with the text, whereas here I am not. And this is because this is a responsive layout, okay? So if you wanted to change that, basically now you have to go back to your image and basically change, you have to change the position here, okay? So basically we are too far on an X-axis, so maybe we're gonna go and put ourselves maybe here, okay? And then update. And now if we go back here, we refresh. As you can see, that looks absolutely fine. We could actually push this a bit further. Again, because this is a responsive layout, it might change slightly between the back end and the front end. So always come back to the home page and see it in real life in action, okay? So let's go back to our next section here. So this is basically our testimonials section. So what we can do is basically click on this. This is called testimonials. And here are our testimonials. So item 1, item 2, item 3, okay? And all you have to do basically is to add an image here of a person, and then add basically the content of the testimonials or the review they left about your course, basically, okay? So now let's add one together. So if you want to get rid of this, just click the X sign to delete. Let's add one together, okay? So let's choose an image, upload file, select file. We're gonna add this image here, okay? So let's select. So how many stars do you want to add? Maybe 4 stars. And then we have the testimonial itself, okay? There you go. So now we have 4 of them all together. Now if you click update, as you can see, now we have our new testimonial. If you click on it, there you go. This is our testimonials that this student left for us, okay? So that's basically it for this section now. So let's move on to the next one. So this one is another very important one, is why choose us. So you have to give your visitors 3 main reasons, or maybe 4 or 5, whichever you want. You know, I'm going to show you how you can add more reasons if you wanted to, why they should choose you over anyone else. So right here we have a heading, why choose us, and then here is the main reason why, okay? So as you can see, it says MasterStudy is committed to helping students achieve their goals by providing an innovative environment and making a difference. So this is absolutely fine. You could actually just change this by your name. You see, Mr. Web is committed to, and something like that, okay? So underneath here, as you can see, if you hover, we have 3 different sections. So if you click on this, right there, you can select your icon, the type of view, and the icon shape that you want. So this is the circle, and here you're going to change the title and the description. That's basically it. Okay, now like we said, we have 3 of them here. Now maybe you want to give your visitors 4 different reasons. Okay, so what we can do is basically right click on this one and then select duplicate. There you go. Now we have a completely new one, and if you click on it, you can change the icon basically and select something else. Maybe you're going to select this one here, okay, or maybe a pie chart, or maybe this one here. Insert, and there you go. And now you can insert the main reason why. So perhaps it could be improved chances of being hired. So this would be quite a compelling reason to take courses, you know. And then here you can say maybe we've seen an increase of 17% of chances of getting hired after taking our courses, or something like that. Okay, so this is basically how you can add different reasons why they should choose you over anyone else. And then obviously if you only have 2, you can delete one always altogether. Just click on this and then delete it, and instead of duplicating it. Okay, so then next we have our last section here. So as you can see, this is divided in 2 different sections. So we have 1 section for learners and 1 section for teachers. Now this is not a marketplace that we are building today, so it's only ourselves uploading our own courses, obviously, or maybe part of the same business, you know. So we don't have actually teachers coming on board here. So what we can do is basically delete the content here. Okay, so delete this one as well. Now we can swap those 2, move this one from the left to the right. And what we're going to do is basically add an image here all together. Okay, so maybe a picture of your college, maybe yourself or your team, whatever it is. So let's add maybe a team picture. So for this, we click on these 9 dots and we're going to scroll down and we're going to look for image. Okay, so this is the one here, drag and drop, just like that. And now we're going to upload our image. So upload file, select file. So I found a picture here online. So open and then insert. So there you go. And now we want to add a bit of spacing and breathing space all around. So we go to advanced. And as you can see, you have padding here. So let's try maybe with 40. Yeah, maybe a bit less. I would say perhaps, let's try 20 perhaps. Okay, so 20, that's it. That's just about perfect now. So this is our image and we have learners start here. So what we want maybe is to center this in the middle. Now we're going to click on our column here. And right here we have vertical align and we're going to select middle. And there you go. That looks absolutely perfect. And as always, don't forget to click update to save your changes. And that's us done with the home page now. So all we have to do now is basically change our logo here and change our footer section and add those social media icon and link them to our social media platforms. Okay, so let's go back to our WordPress dashboard. So for our logo, we can do it immediately from the home page once you logged in the backend. As you can see, I've edited with Elementor. And now we have footer and header. So right click on header, open in a new tab, and let's do the same with the footer, open in a new tab. Okay, so let's take care of our header. So as you can see, this is exactly it. If you hover on top, this is the image, our site logo. Okay, so now we can change this and upload our own logo. So let's delete this, upload. So I found one logo online, so I'm just gonna select this one here. Okay, open and then select. And as you can see, this one is way too big, so we might have to resize that and crop it, okay? So if you click on this, you can click on edit image, and now we're going to crop this all together, okay? So you can narrow this down a little bit, maybe so it looks just about perfect, maybe a more rectangular than square. Okay, there you go. So click on crop again, and then we can save this, and then select. And there you go. This looks just perfect now. Okay, so let's click update. So let's go back to our website. Let's refresh. And there you go. As you can see, now we have our own logo. So that looks absolutely fantastic now. And the last thing we need to take care of is the footer section. And as always, all we have to do is to hover on the section we want to change. So let's click on this. So let's change the year. So 2023. And you can add your own content here. Maybe copyright. And then Mr. Web, okay, or something like this. And right here we have our social media icon. So let's click on this icon list, okay. So we have Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So let's say perhaps you're also using another social media platform, maybe Discord or anything like this, okay. You can easily add that. So let's add Instagram as an example here, okay. So you can delete this all together. And let's select our icon. So we said Instagram, okay. Select this one. Insert, And then right here, you're going to add the link to your Instagram page. Okay, that's basically it. And now we have 5 different icons, and each one of them you would add, instead of the hashtag, you will replace that with the actual landing page of your social media platform and your profile, obviously. Okay, so that's basically it. Click update, and that's it, guys. We're all done already. And just to make sure, let's go back to the home page and let's have a quick refresh. So as you can see, our logo is here, and let's check our foot section. And there you go, copyright Mr. Web 2023, and our 5 social media icons. And now there's only one last thing to address, which is our main menu here on top. If you click on those links, as you can see, courses is not bringing anything. If we click add courses, it's going to bring us to the back end, which is not correct, obviously. And we have wish list, which is fine. We can keep this one. So we're going to change those links here. So again, for this, we go back to our WordPress dashboard. We go to menus. So appearance menus, okay. And right here, as you can see, these are our different links, exactly how it is in the front end. So home, courses, add courses, wish list. So home, courses, add courses, courses, wish list. So we know that those 2 are not suitable. We can delete them, okay. So we can bulk select, click on this one, click on this one, and then remove, click save. And now we want to add our courses page. It's right here by the side, as you can see, of all our pages. If you click, tick this and add to menu, there it is. So we can change the position as well, and we can change the title. So if you open this, just basically courses, okay? This is simple as, and then click save changes. Now let's go back to our home page, click on the logo. There you go, now with home, courses. So let's try this one. And there you go, this is bringing us to the right page. As you can see, now we can select among all the different categories and find the courses that's relevant to our requirements and needs. So we have a wish list as well here as well. So if you click on any of those courses, we can add to wish list. There you go. And now if I click on wish list, well, it turns out that that page is not working either, so we have to replace that as well. So let's go back here. So let's select this page here, scroll down, and then remove. And now we're going to select our wish list. As you can see, you need to select the one that says MasterStudy wish list, okay? So click on this, add to menu, and now this should be the right one. So let's click save menu. There you go, this is confirmed, this has been updated. Let's go back to our courses, and I'll add back to wish list, and there it is. This is the one we added to our wish list, and it's very easy for your customers to go back to it where they can find their favorite courses as well. Now let me show you another feature here. So if you go on top, we have the screen option. Now you can add courses, lessons, and even courses categories all together. So if I close this now, and then we go here, as you can see, of all the courses, so you can add them. If you wanted to add your courses straight to the menu section, you can do the same with your lessons. And we have the categories here, category courses. This is the one here as well. So you could have a breakdown of all the different sections. So for instance, you can create a custom link. Okay, so if you go here, custom link, put hashtag and see all categories. Okay, add to menu. And now we go back to the courses category and select them all. Just like this, okay, bulk select, add to menu. And then we can move them to the right so they become a subcategory, okay? So let's do that very quickly now. So there you go, all done already. And now save menu. And now we can go back to our home page. So let's click on the logo and let's click on all categories. And now as you can see, your visitors can select any categories they want. So if I wanted to go into the web design category, I'll see only the courses related to that specific subject.